Everyone, it's Chad Franzen here, and today I want to walk you through something that's becoming more and more popular here on Lake of the Ozarks, and that is these big Bowriders. You're starting to see a lot of people get out of those big style cruisers, or not necessarily go to the big center consoles, and kind of cross over to that mid-section Bowrider, and you're starting to see more and more of them here on the lake. And I want to kind of cover and go over some questions, not necessarily one brand versus another, but just some things that you want to look at when you're in the process of purchasing one of the boats. Behind me, I have one of those crossover boats behind right here. As you can see, it's a big white with just a black stripe on the boat. If you look closely, this is a gelled boat. So instead of actually using actual paint, which some of the higher lines do, this is just gelled. Why that matters? If you scratch this boat, it's going to be a lot easier and a lot cheaper to repair than if it was painted. Another thing, if you notice, it's just a solid white color. Why that matters, instead of going to a flashier color, think of your resale value down the road. It's probably going to be easier to sell this boat down the road if it's one solid color instead of it having a lightning bolt or some ridiculous color on the side of it. So you got to think about that when you're making a purchase this size. As we come port side on this boat here, you're going to notice this one has a dive door that actually comes down on the side. This is becoming more and more popular throughout boating. Why that matters here on Lake of the Ozarks, because you're going to see a lot of these crossover Bowrider center console style boats are becoming fitted with outboards on the back. So we all have been coved out before, we all hang out on boats, and people complain that the outboards, you can't actually use a swim platform. So a lot of these manufacturers are starting to come out with the swim platforms that actually drop down on the sides. So you kind of want to look at those things when you're starting your process of searching for a boat like this, the big Bowrider center console kind of crossover style boat. On the back of the transom here, you're going to see this boat is fitted with three 300 Yamahas. Now when you start to do your shopping, you're going to start to see Suzuki and you're going to start to see Mercury as well pop up. This is for the outboard version. The inboard version of these boats, you're going to typically see Mercury and you're going to see Volvo and a big Bowrider like this style. When you start your search, Mercury, Suzuki, Yamaha, all pretty comparable. Mainly, it's going to be the noise that you're going to pay attention to the most, and you're going to notice the horsepower. Mercury jumps all the way up to 600s, where Yamaha stop at 450, Suzuki stop at 350. When you're cruising and you're on a demo, make sure you listen to the high-pitched noise and what it sounds like when you're going to be boating. So if you're going to be boating at 40 miles per hour, Yamahas might not be for you because they kind of got a high-pitched whine. If you're going to be boating at 10, 15 miles per hour most of the time, Yamahas are great. Bulletproof, don't have issues. Mercuries are going to be typically quiet. Suzukis are kind of in the middle. You're going to notice these things when you go on a demo and experience it. So you come on the back port side transom of this boat, you'll notice this manufacturer did a really good job at utilizing the walk around of the outboards. So you're not going to have to worry about tripping over everything when you get to the dock or when you're tying up. You're going to see that more and more on this style boat. But think about that, especially if you have the older family members getting on the boat. It's going to be easier for them to get in and out of this boat. As we enter here, there's just one step up and we're in the aft entertainment area. As you notice, behind me, there's a whole T-top on this one. Does your family like shade? Do they not like shade? Kind of start looking at those things when you're shopping this style boat. If your family does like shade, this one's fitted with a Sure Shade. You push a button here, it retracts shade out, and you can sit and entertain. Now you can't do that while you're boating. It's mainly just for when you're coved out or you're anchored out. Do you guys need a grill? Look for little things like that when you start scrolling through the different models and different brands of boats. How many refrigerators are you guys gonna need? This boat's fitted with 2 just in the entertainment area, which is pretty impressive for a boat this size. And then there's little things. Where are you going to put all your fenders and lines? Where's the storage going to be for that? On this boat, it's kind of a tricky spot. Usually underneath the seats, people put them. Or does it have a designated area for the fenders? Some manufacturers have a fender storage specifically. They have just a line storage specifically. As we look back here, another thing you want to look at when you start shopping is your seating layout. So on this boat, it's got a big L shape where you can probably fit 5 to 6 people comfortably on this. But as we walk forward, this is a center console style boat, so it kind of splits up the conversation. So your drivers are going to be able to have a conversation and the passengers up here, but you kind of lose that with people sitting in the back. So look at that. How do you guys boat? Do you guys like to all sit around and the driver turn around and talk to everyone? Or do you kind of have it split up? It really depends on how you guys do boating. As we're up at the helm here, one thing you want to look at is right away you're going to see in front of you your screens. This one's got fitted with 2 Garmin screens and a Yamaha display. Do you really need all that technology? Do you want more or less? How do you want it? It really depends on what you're shopping for. Garmin, Simrad, Raymarine, those are going to be some of the main manufacturers for that style technology. Another thing to look at up at the helm, this boat's fitted with a joystick. So what a joystick does, it controls all of your engines just in the back. So this is going to drive from the back essentially. If I want this boat to go sideways, the boat will walk sideways. Now this boat is also fitted with a bow thruster. That's just going to be for the bow of the boat. So why am I noting this? It's a big Bowrider, big crossover boat. You want to be comfortable with boating and docking. You can do that on this style boat. Another thing you want to look at is your actual view, what you're looking at and how easy it is to see around the boat. When I'm sitting here at the helm, one thing I love about this style boat, I can see the port side aft corner of the boat at all times. It's easy to dock, you're not stressed out, you don't have a blind spot, you can actually see everything. So start to look at that when you go boat shopping and sit at the helm and actually get a feel for what it would be like when you're trying to dock the boat. As we come around the starboard side of the boat, now you're going to walk up into the bow. This is what we want to highlight on a boat this size. So it really depends on how you are going to be doing most of your boating. This boat's fitted with 3 actual lounger seats for your bow. Is that the amount of people you're going to have boating with you, or are you going to want more? So you can fit more up here, but there's going to be no backrest around it. So we want to start looking at those type of things if you're shopping big bow riders. Do you want everyone to be comfy or just really 3 people? Another thing you want to look at is your actual rails around the side of the boat. Are the gunnels high? Are they going to keep your grandkids in or small children? Are they just going to have rails where there's going to be an opening that they can potentially fall out of? So you really want to start looking at those things. Does your bow have a table mount? This one has a table mount. Is it fitted with enough storage? Is there a sound system up in the bow specifically? This boat's fitted with 2 speakers. Is that enough for you guys? Do you want more? All right, let's talk cabins now. So on this boat in particular, it's got the cabin underneath the helm here. What that does, it actually enlarges the size of the cabin. You're gonna see some brands are gonna have this style. Some other brands are gonna have split up. So it'll have a walk-through, that'll be like your traditional Bowrider, and then your cabin will be on the starboard side and port side of the boat. Do you guys really need 2 bedrooms? Do you really need a full stand-up shower? Do you really need a full kitchen down inside of there? Or do you just need a little getaway spot that you can have air conditioning? Same with the bedroom, or same with the bathroom. So just start looking at those things when you start shopping boats. In conclusion, that's a 40-foot Bowrider center console kind of crossover style boat. Hopefully I helped answer some of your questions or some of your thoughts with purchasing a boat like this. If you have any questions at all, reach out to a designated sales team and I'm sure they can help answer more questions for you. Again, thank you for watching and have a good day. Enjoy the water.